Here's a quick look at the interfaces for a marine asset tracking application that we've put together. If you look at this tracking page, you can see there's a list of all of the assets that are being tracked. Right now these are boats. You can see the list, you can see boats that are moving, boats that are stationary. Then you can also see them on a map. You can see locations that are set, and then you can see clusters of assets that are close together, and then you can see individual assets that are moving by direction. So that's what this initial interface with the list of assets and then the map with locations and assets looks like. We can group these assets in this list by location. So let's apply this grouping. So now they're all grouped together, and I set these locations within the system, and then I defined the location with a geofence. So each one of these locations has a geofence tied to it with a specific radius to be able to track assets that are within that geofence. So let's open up this particular location, and you can see all the assets that are inside of that location geofence. So we've got 3 here that are stationary. We've got 1 here that's moving, and then we've got 2 that are outside of this geofence, and they would be under this no location grouping. If we want to drill into this particular asset, we can select it. I'll click on it, and it'll zoom it in, and it'll show me this asset details in this tooltip. So I can see the name. If we apply an ID number to it, we can see that. We can see if it's moving or stationary. We can see last location, and we can see the heading and the speed of this asset from this tooltip. If I want to go see a historical track of this asset, I can click on this View Track button. So we'll click that, and this is the track for this asset based on a time range. So you can see in the last 24 hours, this asset started here, and now it is here. And we've got different events that are marked on this track based on movement. So it's either stationary or moving. And then if it enters a geofence and exits a geofence, we can see those timestamps too to know how long it sat at this location. And we can see the track running all the way to its current position here. And within this 24-hour period, we can see how many hours it moved, how many miles it moved. Again, we can see all the details about the asset and its current location coordinates. We can see last location, and then we can see the heading, and we can see how fast it's moving. And then again, we've got this list of events that happened within that 24-hour period. So starting here at the bottom of the timeline, you can see it was stationary, then started moving, then it entered and exited a location, in this case a fleet, then it entered and exited another location. And these are the types of events that we'll be tracking in order to know how long it was within or was at a specific location, and compare that to a total track for that asset. So those are all valuable data points that we're going to be able to keep tabs on. So if we go back here, you'll see we'll eventually have a dashboard. We'll have reports. We'll be able to link assets to specific customers. And then there's a settings area where you can go and define your locations and set the geofence for that location, along with managing your GPS trackers and your assets within this settings area.